All right, what's up, my friends? Today is July 25th, and this is the 14th day of Takin Life Daily, which is super awesome because that means that I've done this in 14 days in a row, which is 2 weeks. And the challenge really is to do daily videos. So, super stoked that I have made it to day 14. And the topic of today's video is going to be how to break bad habits. And I'm just going to give you one suggestion on breaking a bad habit. And it was something I heard this morning from Brendan Bouchard. I thought it was great. And one thing that we got to talk about with habits is we do them because we get rewards, and we do them because they're cued. And so basically, something happens, a trigger happens in your environment, and then you do the habit. So, before you leave the house, the habit is to brush your teeth. Well, when you have a bad habit that you're trying to get rid of, sometimes we will do things like, if it's a food habit, eating too much food, or if you feel bad and you order food or something along those lines. That's one example. Another one might be getting frustrated with somebody very quickly. And so how do you break these habits? And what Brendan actually suggested I thought was quite interesting because it was different than what I've heard before. And of course, removing some of the obstacles around you can help with not having the temptations in front of you. So that's one option. But what Brendan actually suggested was that you actually practice the correct or whatever action you want to take, you actually practice that. So maybe you are, let's talk about the food one. Maybe you have a thing, you get upset, so then you use food, and that's your trigger and the way that you satiate your desires. And so you'll go to the food. So what he suggests to do is that you go to the food, and instead of eating the food, and like you think this through before, so like if you think back to the last time that you had something that was a big trigger, and maybe you went and ate like the cupcakes. And what he suggests you do is you go back to that idea, to the cupcakes, and instead of eating the cupcakes, you pull out your journal and you write what triggered you, why you're feeling this way, what is going on. And you actually practice before you are in the next situation again, you practice changing the habit. So now you're going to decide what you're going to put in place of that habit. So I just thought it was really cool to address the habit by just journaling, because that's one thing that really changes your ability to process is actually journaling. So I thought it was a great suggestion that you're not just removing all of the stuff, but instead you're going to practice ahead of time what you're going to do the next time so that you can take different actions in the future. And I think this is super powerful because one of my coaches always says, it's not for a lack of, you don't have problems with following through, or you don't have, the word is escaping me. You don't have, uh, like, you're not bad at follow through. The problem is you don't have a good enough plan. And normally people say they want to like lose weight. They're like, okay, I'm going to lose weight. I'm just going to eat better. Well, that's not really a good plan. You got to have a real plan, one that says like, okay, when I go to the grocery store, these are the foods I'm going to eat. These are the foods I'm not going to eat. This is what I'm going to do in my exercise. So really having a plan that's executable. And then I know yesterday I mentioned the Whoop format, and one of these days I'll definitely go a little bit deeper into the Whoop format or framework. And the last part of Whoop is a P, and that's for plan. And they talk about using a when then plan. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, when this trigger happens, then I'm going to do this. And if you do that ahead of time, so just like Brendan's talking about, like, okay, I know this trigger is going to happen. These are the feelings I'm having. Now I'm going to plan this. If you can do a when then plan, it actually helps you subconsciously take the new action. So I think it's a super awesome and super powerful piece of the puzzle. That is my little suggestion for today, the 14th day of Taking Life Daily. I hope that you all have a phenomenal day, and looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow.